The following video was uploaded to YouTube roughly 7 years ago by a young boy living with his parents like all children do. This meant that he did not make his own rules and unfortunately had a curfew at 10 p.m. and abided by it. It was one night at exactly 10 p.m. that some strange stuff began to happen though. Before I show you the clip, there is a bit of backstory behind it. The doll was a purchase of the boy from a local garage sale, and there was not much left once he arrived. He wasn't interested in anything at the sale initially, but he felt sorry for the woman hosting the sale, who was clearly in a poorer position, so bought the doll for a cheap price. This turned out to be the worst decision of the boy's life. Have a watch.
Alright, YouTube. I was just sitting down, getting ready to go to bed, and the fucking music box up there just starts playing. Sorry, I'm a little sick. I was trying to rest, but, you know, after putting this fucking doll back on the shelf, that hand decided to fucking move, and I put that there just to, you know, maybe these two things talk to each other? But no, the old lady that this belonged to, actually belonged to her mother, and she said that she calls it squeaky because at night you could hear the doll squeak, which I did hear it squeak. Holy shit. Holy f***ing shit. Holy f***ing shit. Did you guys see that? My f***ing hands are shaking. Sorry. Let me switch the other hand. Holy f***ing shit, the f***ing hand just f***ing moved. This thing at night squeaks, and when I put it inside that f***ing chest, so I thought, you know, maybe I'll give it a second chance and, you know, put it back on the shelf. But clearly the thing wants to start the f***ing music box back up, because, you know, that's a great idea, you know, just to stick it back on a shelf next to a creepy box, and stick it next to a f***ing doll head. So, you know, that's a good job for me. I'm actually probably going to lock this thing back up. Its hand fucking moved out more, dude. Screw that shit. You could stay up on the shelf, because you're not gonna fucking turn on a music box like this motherfucker in my fucking hand did. I'm getting the key to open up this chest, because, fuck that shit. You, Squeaky. You could stay inside this chest. I don't want to hear you squeak. I don't want to hear you making noise.
The first red flag was that the owner used to call it squeaky because it tended to make squeaking sounds, and the fact that the boy knew this information before purchasing the doll makes him really silly and accountable for his situation. Whilst he was going to bed, the music box besides the doll started to play, and this of course prevented him from getting any rest, so he stood up to film the incident. As he was recording, the hand of the doll moved on camera, which was highly shocking and caught both him and us off guard. Finally, the head fell from the top of the cabinet, which was not having any visible force act on it, making this whole series of events odd. After the recording ended, the dolls were all locked in some chest-looking drawer, before we never received any other updates. We should be hoping that the person who experienced all of that is now safe and sound. Nothing beats the feeling of coming home from a long day of work to kick back and get on your gaming console with the boys. Whether it be a PlayStation or an Xbox, this is a feeling that many people across the world can relate to, including the man in our next clip. He was working a really late shift and could not wait until he was allowed to go home and play on his PlayStation 5. His job was in a fast food chain, so it was very unenjoyable, and the moment he arrived home, he pushed the power button. Strangely though, after doing this, he felt some sort of cold air brush past him, and from that point forwards, he felt really unsafe. Out of panic, he took out his phone and opened the camera app before hitting record, and you are about to see what he was able to capture.
There to go. And I come back and something is say something, I'm giving up on you. But anywhere I would have followed you. That's my kid, dude. Don't. You're not fucking serious. You're not fucking serious. I mean, it's nothing. Actually, how the fuck am I gonna get that back up? Goddamn. Jesus Christ.
For some reason, as soon as he started to record his surroundings, in case something bad happened to him, something horrible occurred. One of the pictures on his wall began to move without any human interaction, and this was not just any picture, it was one of his children. The fact that the spirit chose to tamper with that image must have had some sort of deeper meaning behind it, and the man couldn't help but think that they were in danger. He called his mother, who was looking after them due to his late shift, but no response came back. The chances are that she was just asleep and everything was okay, but due to a lack of future updates, we have no idea whether anything bad happened. On June the 9th of 2024, an unexplainable video was uploaded to TikTok that would disturb thousands of viewers. It took place in an Asian household where a man who was given the feminine nickname Fran lived alone. There were many perks to living alone, such as peace and quiet at will, but also many negatives, with no aid in emergencies being one of the main ones. I am not sure whether the video that you are about to watch would be considered as an emergency, but it was definitely enough to put poor Fran into a state of fear. The time was 12:23 p.m. and it had just turned afternoon when a seemingly normal day turned into one that nobody could even dream of.
Ya estás intentando molestar, ¿no? ¿Te puedes manifestar? Si quieres. No te tengo ningún miedo. Sí, ya sé que estás ahí. Manifiéstate. Cojones. Manifiéstate. ¿Dónde estás? La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Me cubro con la sangre de Cristo. Vale, que sepas que no te tengo ningún miedo. Vale. Vale. Me cubro con la sangre de Cristo. Esto tiene el poder. Ven, este es mi día a día, señores. En mi casa, esto es lo que pasa. Pero ya cada vez tengo menos miedo, así que me come todo el cipote lo que hay aquí. Esta es mi casa.
Just as you would expect the chair to stop moving, it continued, and this was an unexplainable phenomenon. It was clear that no one or nothing was applying any force to the chair, so the force must have been an invisible one, and we all know what that means on this channel. Fran was experiencing a haunting, and if he doesn't do anything about it, he will likely have to go through this for much longer. Ghost hunting is an extremely dangerous job that comes with many risks, but with high risk comes high reward. The job pays a lot of money, which is why we see so many people partaking. But at the end of it all, is it really worth it? Meet the Midwest ghost hunter, an experienced and high-end hunter who every client would dream of having. The following series of clips comes from one of his hunts in a house known as the Boyd House, which is undoubtedly haunted. Have a watch.
Hello? Is anybody here? I don't know if you remember me, but I visited here before. Not too long ago. If you remember me, could you give me a sign? Minnie or Fred Eckhart? Are you here? I'm in your lovely home. Are you okay with me visiting? If you can hear me, could you make a sound somewhere in this house? It's awfully quiet in here to start. I'm not really feeling any. What the hell was that? Hello? Oh my god, that sounded like a woman's voice. I heard it through the headphones. It sounded like it was coming from in there. Minnie, was that you? Could you speak again?
The Midwest ghost hunter was purposefully attempting to get some form of reaction from the spirits who haunted this house, and due to his expertise, he managed to get one. After asking any entities in the building to make a noise, there was silence for a brief moment before the voice of a woman echoed down his headphones. The woman behind this voice was more than likely the one who passed away in the home and made it haunted in the first place. Just to be certain, though, the ghost hunter needed to continue this exploration.
If there's anyone in here, could you show yourself to me? Minnie, are you still in here? Could you appear by that radio that you turned on earlier? Weird. I got like an orb like right next to it. Gone. That was interesting. Could you appear by the radio? Damn, I still can't get over that from earlier. That radio turning on. That was so insane. Is there anybody upstairs? Oh, I thought I heard a creak up there. Hello? Whoa, what the fuck? Dude, I just saw a fucking shadow. Holy shit. It was right up here. Hello? There was somebody standing like right there. Who's up here? I just saw somebody here. There was literally a dark mass standing at the top of these steps. I saw it in the flash of the camera. I'm gonna look and see if I can find it. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Dude, it's right there. It's like a shadow. I caught that in the photo.
I managed to capture this photo of a dark humanoid mass standing at the top of the staircase. Notice how the figure is transparent and possesses non-physical qualities. Was this the spirit of Fred Eckhart staring me down from above?
Besides claiming that the radio managed to turn itself on, this video had undeniable proof that someone or something was in the house alongside the man. Whilst he was taking photos of almost everything he could, he caught a human outline in shadow form at the top of the stairs and decided to check the camera gallery to be sure that he was not hallucinating or anything of the sort. That shadow was in fact real and enough to instill fear into anybody. If it was able to frighten the Midwest ghost hunter, it would have frightened you for sure. Emily and her dog Rosie were both home alone, waiting for the man of the house to arrive, when a very peculiar event happened. The time was 10 p.m., and this was usually an uneventful period for Emily, who had normally finished her work for the day and spent the time relaxing. This time around, things would be far different though, and it would all be centered around her little dog, Rosie. They were both listening to music and doing nothing at all when this disturbing video was captured on camera.
What the f?
Some sort of shadow reached out for the dog, and if you look closely enough, it seemed to be the paw of a cat. The annoying thing about paranormal events like this, though, is that you can never be too sure that it actually was a ghost. So Emily and her family could not seek assistance due to a lack of liable proof. But if something else happens in their household, I will include it in one of my videos, so subscribe. The following video was another ghost hunting expedition which was carried out by two British men this time around. They were visiting a house without much research behind it, and the only link to the paranormal was a note that the old owners left claiming that it was haunted, but it was definitely worth a shot for some content. The duo set up some cameras all across the household to be sure that they did not miss anything, and this plan definitely worked because once they left a room, this happened.
We need to just get on with an investigation. Should we get some equipment?
Yeah.
I'm going to stand in here, just in case.
Yeah, good idea.
Shall I leave my camera in here for a bit? No. Did you not hear that, Ben? That was in there again. The camera's in there. No. Did you not hear that, Ben? That was in there again. The camera's in there. I don't know why I said no.
Okay.
Like you're a dog or something. Oh. Just stop. Stop. Hello? There's someone walking towards me. I swear to God.
What the fuck?
Just stop. Seriously. I don't know if I can just hear like the remnants of of me walking through now, but
Yeah.
almost clear as day. Like not even heavy. I'm gonna leave my cat roll. What? Let's get.
Would you?
Jesus Christ! I feel mental, didn't you?
I don't. Do you know what? It's gone so mental that I don't even feel like we've got the right equipment to pick this up. What do I use?
I don't know. Should we rethink?
The man wearing a cap heard something drop to the floor from the other room, and fortunately, the camera also picked up this sound. He decided to double back and investigate what could have caused the sound, and he swore that some footsteps were heading in his direction. The camera did not manage to pick up these steps, but based on the reaction from the man, it is safe to say the story is believable. During the October of 2011, a YouTuber who goes by the name of Mellow Bird experienced one of, if not the most unsettling nights of his entire life. Now we have actually peeked into the life of Mellow several times before, and his experiences in the paranormal are starting to become a regular occurrence, hence his name continuously coming up here. The following video was filmed late in the evening, just after Mellow was watching television, and he started to record because of some noises.
Stopped again. Typical. Okay. All right. Guess in the bathroom. Hide over in the corner when nothing can get to me. Oh, I don't know, I'm gonna go with the garden. Garden, corner. Oh, garden, I'm gonna go with garden. Garden.
All around his place, there were extremely unnatural instances, and Mello, wanting to capture the moment for his now established community, followed the activity everywhere it went. A ghost as active as this one is not common, and Mello had no clue how rare his experience truly was, and he is very fortunate he didn't frustrate the spirit, because that would have only gone one way, downhill. Cameras are one of the greatest and most advanced things that humankind has managed to make, and it is strange to think that something capable of capturing moments could be created with resources solely from our planet. Why am I mentioning this, you may wonder? Well, there are tons of pieces of footage across the world captured using these devices, but there is one niche that isn't discussed enough: the paranormal, and that is exactly what this next clip, filmed using a webcam, was able to do. Somehow, not only did a banana collapse to the floor, but the chair also took it upon itself to move, which essentially proved that this wasn't a natural incident. After checking the footage after receiving a movement notification, Gracie rushed back home and investigated the entire area to be more than certain some sort of animal or intruder didn't cause this. As expected, nothing was discovered. The following video is a piece from Dark Path Scary, and they took it upon themselves to explore a house renowned for being haunted. They chose to take this mission because on their channel, they look into all sorts of haunted environments, making it the perfect fit. However, they had no idea just how strong the spirit of this house was. Typically, on an adventure, the team would be fortunate to come off with 2 pieces of footage, but these guys managed to escape with tons of ghostly events on camera, and today, I am going to show you one of them. Have a watch.
Is that you? There are any ghostly spirits in this house?
No way, dude.
Dude.
No way. Did that piano just seriously play by itself?
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, dude, we should get out of this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. Holy shit. Hold on. We came here to do this. We're actually getting...
The fact that the piano played once was enough to convince the crew that the house was definitely haunted, but when it continuously slammed down on the keys, it came off as seriously aggressive. This is why, despite their long experience, the Dark Path Scary team ran in fear of their lives, until they were in the safe zone that we know as daylight. Andrea was a brave woman, and was known in her local town for never being afraid. I was unable to find out where she garnered such a reputation, but in order to obtain one, she must have faced some common fears, at a bare minimum. However, despite her status of being brave and fearless, what happened in the footage that I am about to show you captured her at her lowest point. She was running. If that doesn't tell you that this next clip was terrifying, then I don't know what will.
Estoy parando en esta casa que tengo acá atrás. Pero de noche escucho golpes en esta casa que está acá. Ahí. Me quiero acercar a ver si veo a alguien o a ver si veo algo. Creo que está abandonada. No tiene autos, no veo gente, pero a la noche se escuchan golpes. Me voy a acercar todo lo más pueda para poder verla. Es esta casa que está acá, miren. Voy a ir mejor por el frente de la casa. Tiene también esta casilla que está acá, pero está cerrada. Ay, escucho ruidos. Me vuelvo para mi casa, chicos. No sé qué pasa ahí, no lo sé.
The tree was in perfect health, and the branch snapped by itself, which does not normally happen. Furthermore, Andrea claimed to have heard breathing from the tree as she ran away, which made it pretty clear that someone or something caused the branch to fall. Now you are probably thinking some sort of wild animal did this, and that's completely normal, because I did too. However, when she panned the camera up the tree, it was evident that nothing was there except for her. According to statistics, dolls are the most likely object to be haunted by a spirit by an absolute landslide, and humans have no idea why this is the case. One of the most logical theories is that ghosts, which were probably human in their physical form, crave the feeling of being in a human body again, and using a doll is the closest thing to the real deal, but again, that's just a theory. Going on to the topic of our upcoming clip, a mother of two called Sir had come home from work when her youngest daughter came up to her and explained that she received a gift. After prompting her daughter to explain who gave her the gift, and why though, she discovered a terrifying backstory. Before we dive into that though, let's watch the horrible thing that the doll did.
Esta cosa se está... Mira, fíjate, va para el cuarto de la niña. ¿Te das cuenta? Mírala, va para el cuarto de la niña. ¿Qué tienes, muñeca? Tengo nervios de tocarla. Muñeca, ¿qué tienes? ¿Por qué lloras? No llores. ¿Qué tienes? ¿Qué quieres? A ver, dime, ¿qué quieres? ¿Qué es lo que te pasa, muñeca? ¿Estás enojada? ¿Qué tienes, pues? ¿Qué tienes? ¿Por qué lloras de esta forma? ¿Qué tienes? ¿Qué vas a buscar al cuarto de mi hija? ¿Qué se te perdió allá? ¿Nada se te perdió en el cuarto de ella? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Por qué haces todo esto? Desde que llegaste aquí a esta casa, todo ha estado así contigo. ¿Qué es lo que realmente quieres? A ver, dime, ¿quién eres tú? Responde.
Now the doll was battery powered, but after checking the back, there were no batteries inside of it. It made absolutely no sense that it would move by itself, but when the mother heard the lore from her daughter, it all made sense. On her way home from school, she and her father went under a sketchy bridge to get home faster, when an elderly lady on the streets, presumably homeless, offered them the doll. Feeling sympathetic, the duo accepted and gave the lady some food. This is when the puzzle came together. The lady had passed away, and this was the doll she used to possess. In the upcoming video, a woman called Madison was fast asleep when she was awoken by some strange noises coming from outside the door. At first, she had no idea what could have been causing these noises, but after listening in closely, she came to a pretty accurate conclusion. It took place at 3 in the morning and frightened the poor woman for weeks. Have a watch.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm kind of scared shitless right now. It's currently 3:17 a.m. I got up to go pee, and now I'm scared to open the door again because I'm hearing footsteps. Let me see if I can get it on tape where y'all can hear it. Did you hear it? What the fuck is that? Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Y'all go first. I'm going back to bed.
As you can tell, the noise was footsteps, and Madison was adamant that her children were asleep at the time. After hearing the noises, she decided to open the door to be certain that her children were not the cause, and unsurprisingly, no one was on the other side. Furthermore, just to prove the direness of the situation to a further degree, after ending the video, she went to check on her daughter, and she was fast asleep. Madison was pleased that she was able to get rest, but at the same time, scared that it was confirmed she had met a spirit. The man in the next piece of footage is called Zark, and it is safe to say that if you have watched this channel before, you will have likely seen him before. This is because his story is everlasting, and he can't seem to get enough of paranormal activity. But anyways, I will summarize his story. He and his family had been going through a ton of paranormal events and eventually came to the conclusion that moving out would be the best idea. Almost with immediate effect, they relocated to a new home in Dubai rather than India, but they had no idea that this was only the beginning of their paranormal adventures.
I think I'm gonna go crazy very soon because I'm hearing stuff and I don't recognize whether it's happening real or not, because whenever I record videos, when I play it back, all I get to know is that there's no sound in the video. I just woke up hearing that the TV is on. It's almost gonna be 3 very soon. By 4:30 I need to wake up again. Got no sleep. Can you hear it, guys? Because I don't know whether I'm dreaming or... I just tried to sleep for a while and again the sound woke me up. Is this real? just laid down in my bed for 15 minutes and this sound started happening again. You know, one thing I always remember is like people ask me, why is the home always dark? I'll show you something. You see, the light switch, all three are on. I usually keep them on because normally during the haunting hours, the lights go off. See? If you go to my previous videos, you will see all these buttons, all these switches, they work for the chandeliers and the lights over here. Plus, you see the kitchen light is on, but there's no light. I'll show you something. See, the restroom, nothing works. But rest everything works in the house. That's the most strangest part. As you can see, the TV switch, the light is on. See? You can see the camera light is on. Even the switches. See? The red light. Even this. See? The internet light is on. So everything works at home except the lights during the haunting hours. I'll show you something as well. You can see this? All the appliances work at home except the lights during the haunting hours. I'm sorry, there's nothing much in the fridge because it's only me now. All I just eat nowadays is just croissant and I have some drinks. What's happening again? There was a malfunction. As you can see, all these lights are on except for this one. I hope it doesn't work now. I better remove this. Maybe there's a switch problem. I don't know, guys. I think I'm losing my mind. Once I look back at this video only I can confirm whether that's working or not. Fuck it, I'm not going near it again.
Just like their old house, it was riddled with paranormal activity, and they had no clue why the hauntings continued. With the information they had as a fact, though, they just assumed it was haunting them rather than their old house, and they needed to sort it out for real this time. However, they did get one more piece of footage that night, which I want to show you.
That's right. I just woke up and there was some sound over here. But it's very strange that lights are on now. Normally there's no activities during the night, but I could hear some sound. Oh God. The haunting hours begin. Oh, Jesus. The door just opened.
From strange noises and opening doors all the way to footsteps running at him, Zark could barely stay conscious during this situation based on fear alone. It's safe to say that his hyperventilation under his bed sheets were justified, and all of us would have reacted similarly. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of Zark's story. On a random Tuesday evening, Saban, a young Muslim woman, was sitting on her sofa when an absolutely insane 2 minutes happened. She had just returned from mosque and was a woman who followed her religion deeply, claiming to have never sinned since becoming serious about it. Regardless of her good deeds towards Allah, though, she somehow still managed to be haunted. Have a watch.
ben dus helemaal alleen. Oh, dat ding. Oké, ik ga hier weg. Oh, er gebeurt me allemaal te veel in mijn huis.
All sorts of objects started to move around in the room, but the main one was her lucky goblet. Sabin only allowed herself to drink from the goblet when she knew she was about to do something dangerous in order to grant herself an advantage. The fact that the ghost tampered with this was very concerning for her. After ending the video, she prayed to Allah for protection, to which it was granted, and she never experienced anything of this sort. Could it have been a test, or was this some sort of demon genuinely attempting to torment her? I guess we, or she, will never know the answer for sure. Now, we have looked into the life of Arash Afnan before, and he is an Indian man who decided to create a TikTok account to document his paranormal findings. He first encountered something from the paranormal world a few years back, when some doors started to open and close by themselves, and since then, it has only gone downhill. I guess he has amassed a decent social media following from it though, so he can hardly complain. The video that you are about to see from him took place 7 months ago and was filmed in the perspective of Arash's son, Raj. Raj was made fun of at school for being very feminine, mainly because of his ownership of a pink teddy which he was attached to a lot, so much that he would have a tantrum after losing it. One day, this day came. Raj lost his pink teddy, and once he figured this out, he tried to find it.
Bising, bising, bising. Nak tidur pun tak boleh. Hantu punya setan. Mana kau sorok? Kau lapar nasi ke setan? Bisinglah lagi. Ada 2 setan. Duduk diamlah. Apa lagi ni?
When he realized his teddy was missing, things around the house started to shake vigorously, as if the spirit was trying its hardest to freak the poor kid out, and it succeeded. The kid, after getting over the shaking, looked under the sink and found his teddy before closing the cupboard and getting ready to confront his father as to why it was there. However, when he opened it again, the teddy had vanished. Off camera, the duo searched the entire house for the teddy without success until Arash checked the under-sink cabinet again, where he actually found the teddy. After what happened next though, this was not considered a victory. Strangely, Raj took the teddy and slowly walked into the dining room before sitting down and holding the teddy tightly. This was super odd behavior from the child according to Arash, because he was a very bubbly person, and when he was mad, he definitely expressed it. Arash spoke to Raj for a solid 5 minutes, trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and he barely blinked. It took that whole time before Raj snapped out of this trance, and claimed that he had no clue what went on. He had been possessed. Chris and Mick were and still are a duo who take pride in their excellent chemistry. When together, they can make the moodiest person on the planet laugh, and they even managed to maintain that brilliant feeling when they experienced some spiritual activities on camera. One of their most requested videos was to visit a church stealth camp which was supposedly haunted despite nobody knowing the reason why. With their bravery and values to provide top-tier content, they decided to visit the church, and what happened was weird.
Go on then, Mick. Now you don't fall over, son.
I thought you were going to say it was locked there with a shitty pants. I'd have had skidimididders all over me uni bidundies.
There we go, folks. Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm not scared, and I'm not one of these people that
gets a shiver up the spine and things like this. To me, it's not spooky, but we'll still have a look around. For you legends that like to watch The Blot Outdoor Show. Alright, isn't it? Cool. Cool place. I wouldn't want to sit here all night, like, but like I say, guys, been abandoned since the 1970s. Obviously, they must leave the door open now and again. The fuck? The fuck's it? I'm out of here. Sorry, guys. What the fuck was that? Oh, I think Mick's filled his pants. I get skin in my didders only be done these. I think Mick's got a lug of a jugger in his only pedandies.
I've got a hole in them, like, hole. Nice big hole.
That's the fastest I've ever seen you run. It was probably, do you know what it probably was? It was just like, it's open, you've probably got like a birds getting in and something's being knocked off or something. I don't know. That's what I'm telling myself, guys. But yeah, like I said, things like that don't normally scare me. But when you hear a bang somewhere like that, and I've been reading about how spooky the place is supposed to be, but I've convinced Mick to have one more look inside this so-called haunted church. Go on then, Schmick.
Nah, you ain't got closer.
Well then. Oh well, I'll go on first. Right, Mick, you follow me. I think the first time we came in, I think we just let our imaginations run away with ourselves, which is easy when you're in the pitch black and you're having a few beers. Just leave that door open, Mick. I've got to be honest, it does have a little bit of a spooky kind of feel to it. I think that's because what we've been reading, and it's genuine, it has been abandoned since the 1970s. By abandoned, I mean it doesn't get used anymore for like services or burials or anything like that. But yeah, now that we've came in and we've studied for a few seconds, I feel kind of chilled now. Are you chilled out, Mick? Yeah. However, let's have a mooch around. I said to Mick, we'll have one more look in here and then later on we'll do the room review. Little Mick says, well, we'll have a look around, but we'll do the room review back over there. I've kind of had to persuade him to come back in. I mean, I can see why people come here, Mick, and do the old spooky, ghostly tours and look for the paranormal readings and stuff like that. It's not my kind of thing. My kind of thing is sitting in a tent and getting mangled, spangled, and totally grim crankled. But each to their own, wherever your hobby is. Let's have a look over here, Schmick. Oh, here we go. I've got a photograph of young Chris here. Oh, sorry guys. It's not young Chris. Apologies. It's Jesus Christ. Our the son.
Milky buttons there.
Yeah, milky buttons. What? What the What? Mix away. shut that door. What?
The duo were the only two people in the church, and the fact they managed to make a situation of that seriousness funny was very respectable. Nothing in the church fell, but one of the big doors slammed shut, and do note that it was not a windy night. In Puerto Rico, there was once a hotel which was called the DuPont Plaza, and it operated in the 1980s. In 1986, the hotel caught fire, and this was no mild flame. It was a huge one, which unfortunately ended a lot of lives, and the blame was pinned onto 3 employees. Despite the people inside the building being cooked, the building itself was surprisingly still standing, and in between, then and now, has been sold onto new owners several times. Its current state is the Marriott Stellaris, still operating as a hotel, but after the following clip emerged, I doubt they will pull many customers. It was captured using a security camera at 3 a.m. and showcased a guard of the hotel walking around one of the least wandered areas of the hotel. She expected this to be a normal stroll, as she was unaware of the hotel's horrible past. Little did she know that she was in for a real treat. She claimed that someone or something tugged at her hair, and by instinct, she assumed that it was one of her co-workers messing around with her, as banter was huge with the staff. After watching the video back, though, she found out that this was not in fact the case. In the upcoming clip, the woman of the family was walking around the house and keeping her baby tight for good reason. You see, she was performing a sage, a method which is supposed to banish evil spirits from somebody's home. She had walked around the entire house and saw no sign of the entity's presence. However, once she reached the kitchen, things managed to take a turn for the worst.
Leave us alone, once and for all. Leave this house. We're sick of you messing with us. Sick of you messing with us.
Whilst the woman and the baby were in the room, the trash can fell over, and just as she was leaving, some sort of basket followed. None of these collapses were nearly as shocking as what happened when they complete their exit from the room, though. Immediately, all sorts of objects started to act up, and the spirit was making its distaste towards the saging very clear. This is the only piece of footage we received, so the rest of the lore is unknown. We do advise you to send all of your luck over to this family, though, especially considering the fact that they have a baby. Gamers can be known to make some of the cringiest jokes in history, and that is not a targeted attack. I am a gamer too. Sometimes the moment for a joke of that nature is more than suitable. On the other hand, there are times where they do way more harm than good. The Asian man in the video that I am about to show you decided to refer to a spirit that he was searching for as an NPC, which for you non-gamers refers to a non-playable character. It became clear fast that the spirit did not like this reference, as it took it upon itself to give the man a reaction.
有人吗？里边？哎，梅西啊，我的老板。哎呦我，哎，我操你妈！哎呦我，哎，我操你妈！哎，出来！出来！出来来！出来！是谁？谁？谁？
From the bottom of the curtain, we could see that there was movement on the other side, and like any normal person, the man behind the camera wanted to look behind it and gave in to his urges. He seemingly chased whatever was behind the curtain for a good minute before giving up and realizing that he was chasing nothingness. Just to clarify, when I say giving up, I mean he stopped chasing. He did not stop exploring the property, and this decision is what led him to the next clip. He came across the bathroom and gave it a thorough search. The most vital conclusion from this search was that nothing else was in the room with him. After his search, he explained that his worst fear at that moment was the mirror, and his fear was proven valid just a moment later.
有人吗？我操你妈呀！这写什么字儿？最怕的是惊人。我操你！我操你！我操！我去你妈的！哎，我操你妈！我操你妈，脚丫子！
If you look at the gap at the bottom of the door for the bathroom stall, a pair of legs could be seen standing there, and as I previously mentioned, the room was clear. This was a horrifying apparition, but nowhere near as terrifying as the one in the next clip. On April 12th of 2024, a man and his dog were going on a beautiful walk through the park during the peak of spring. The owner of the dog, Rob, explained that the pet loved walks especially during that time of the year because of how perfect the conditions were for walking. Not too warm, yet not too cold, as I said. Perfect. The park added onto the conditions, as it was a gorgeous view for the duo to look out onto, and no matter what season it was, they always paused for a few minutes at the same exact checkpoint. Over all of their years walking together though, they never witnessed anything quite as alarming as this. What was usually a peaceful checkpoint became a spooky one when Rob and his dog spotted some sort of spirit apparition floating above the lake. At first, Rob did not see this spirit and wondered why his dog felt so uncomfortable at such a familiar location. After reviewing his video out of concern though, he found out exactly what caused it and uploaded it to YouTube for people like us to see. Now I know that a lot of people struggle to believe the clips that I showcase simply because they do not trust me. However, this next piece of footage came from Channel 5. Channel 5 is a reliable British broadcast, and one of its most popular shows involves police adventures, where we can see what the jobs of law enforcement are really like. Most episodes include high-action, thrilling chases where criminals are speeding away from the police at 100 miles per hour. The one that you are about to see was much different, and I am going to show you why. Take a look.
The runaway carves across the carriageway.
Stand by, it's going off.
And calls it a day. You're nicked. Or you should be.
Where is he?
There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's he gone?
It's magic.
In the back. Could be in the bank. He stopped to think he's hiding in the back. There's no one in the driver or passenger seats, and no one's decamped that we can see. We need to get in, mate. Yeah, mate, I'm going to smash window in a sec.
The best knock-knock jokes have smashing punchlines. But the joke's on Dan and Rob.
No.
Eh?
No.
No one jumped out?
It's a classic locked van mystery.
Weird.
There's just one explanation.
Must have decamped.
You know, the woodland track.
The only logical solution to this scenario was, as the policeman said, the driver must have decamped. A decamp is when someone secretly and suddenly exits a location and is typically used in police vocabulary. The officers ordered a search of the entire vicinity, but nobody was hiding and no one matched the description that they had of the man. As well as this, the camera was on the van for the majority of the tape, so the driver must have left in under a second, which is definitely not possible. This is a mystery that will not be solved, and all we can do is ponder. I am joking. It was most certainly the act of a ghost. In the following video, a father and a son were sitting in their living room waiting for the mother of the family to come home when something extremely unsettling happened. The little child, Bentley, started using some pots and pans as a drum kit, so the father, Walter, started recording. He wanted to send the video to his wife because he found it really cute, and no doubt it would end up on her Facebook page. Little did he know that something mental was about to be captured on camera.
Whoa!
Somehow, the door in the background opened itself, followed by the children's item in front of it collapsing. This made absolutely no sense, because they were the only two people home at the time, which made it impossible for the event to happen without a paranormal presence. The family is currently in the process of purifying the home. Bullying is a huge problem across American high schools, but surely it ends afterwards. There has got to be a point when children become adults and realize that making fun of somebody else is not cool. Well, not in the workplace of the upcoming video. These security guards were laughing at the cleaner because they all thought of him as a lowlife. He wore the same clothes every day and worked just above minimum wage, which was way below what they earned. So they saw the opportunity to mock him. However, amidst their laughter, they managed to capture something so special that even experts struggled to decipher what the cause was. Have a watch.
Yan. Ito. Okay. Okay. Wala ba si Kuya Lito dyan? Oh my. Okay, play.
Strangely, the dustpan and brush from across the room slid from one end of the corridor to the other, and it went completely under the poor worker's radar. Fortunately, the security guards saw it happening, but rather than offering assistance through their microphones, they could not help but start wheezing. If you have ever watched a video from this channel before, then you most certainly know what a ghost hunter is. These brave and spiritual businessmen travel from place to place, being paid to clear houses of paranormal entities, and this is exactly what the person in the upcoming video was doing. He had been offered a sum of $3,000 to clear this elderly woman's home of a spirit she believed to be a demon. And being the smart businessman he was, he accepted. Little did he know that this was going to be one of the most difficult tasks of his life. This happened roughly 2 minutes after he politely asked the spirit to leave, which was always his first approach. Weirdly, the mirror started shaking on its own accord, and this completely stumped the ghost hunter. It was very rare for a spirit to be so out there from the get-go, so he knew that this one was an anomaly. Despite this spooky fact though, the hunter wanted his $3,000, so decided to continue his adventure. He started to set up candles around the property in preparation for the next phase of his poltergeist removal procedure, when he suddenly witnessed this. After this incident, the man decided that he finally had a name for the spirit. It was a tradition for him to give the ghosts nicknames so that he could easily create files on them, and this one was called the Nudger because it nudged items bit by bit, rather than pushing them off things all at once. Unfortunately, the ghost hunter failed to remove the Nudger on this first meet, but informed the owner that he would be back after sorting through the files and data before coming back for round 2. Roland was a man known for capturing terrifying paranormal activity on camera, and uploaded videos almost every week highlighting how haunted his house truly was. The video that you are about to watch was no different from this regular trend, and featured a huge quantity of disturbing clips that I wanted to show you. This first one took place in his kitchen, and he heard walking noises from inside there. Instinctively, he went to investigate what the noises were, and it was at this point that things went downhill.
Here's something. Where the heck is that coming from? I know there's something that's been in the attic, but I do have stuff that I own that I brought from the other house that's in the attic. And who knows, it could be just going all around through this whole house. What the hell? Shit! Okay, a light bulb just comes out of nowhere. What? Oh, all right. You know what? I don't know how light bulbs are just coming out of wherever. Look at this. Look at this. Now I got glass on the floor. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why? Why me? I didn't come down here to Georgia to deal with ghosts. I came down here to start over, and that's what I want to do. You know what? Turn off these lights for now.
Once Roland entered his kitchen, he saw a glass fall from the counter, followed by a light bulb coming from the roof. The odd thing was that the light was still intact, so it was almost as if this light had spawned in. Little did Roland know that this would not be the strangest recording of this video though. After cleaning up the broken glass from the kitchen floor, he placed down some sort of ghost monitor, which he used to detect a paranormal presence. It was at this moment that he knew something else was in the room with him for certain.
Ginny, all right.
I set this meter down because I felt something here. And that faucet on that sink actually started moving. If there's a spirit here, can you make the numbers go up on the meter? Show me that you're here. Whoa. Holy shit. Can you turn off the faucet, please? Turn it off. All right, can you show me a number on the meter to let me know you're here? Show me a number. Oh. All right, please show me the number 7. Holy. I see the numbers.
As well as the meter changing numbers which showed something was there with him, the tap started acting up and turning itself on whenever the meter changed. This practically showed undeniable evidence that a spirit was beside Roland. But since he was so used to these kinds of shenanigans, he was able to continue searching for more evidence. After piecing together that both events happened in the kitchen, Roland decided that he had enough evidence in that room and wanted to spot some activity in other areas of the house. It was then that he went to the second floor, and as he walked past the bathroom, he heard some rather agitating scratching noises. He instinctively knew that he needed to check what was behind the door, and it was safe to say that the spirit had manners.
What the hell? All right. Is somebody in this house? Better come on out. I'll give you a chance to come out. Let's go. I'll give you a chance to come out. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Come out. Get your ass out now. Let's go. Come on. Out. Fucking mess. Somebody walked through this stuff because it wasn't like that. What the hell? Who's in here? How the fuck does that happen? Make sure I check every damn closet. I'm not leaving no doubt. I am not leaving.
Somehow, the door to the closet opened on its own accord, and Roland decided to search the entire vicinity just to prove that no human played any part in this. Of course, the proof worked, and everyone believed that this ghost video was very real, but there were still some doubters. Do you believe in this story or not? Let me know in the comments. All I am going to say is that you are clueless if you do not. This library had one of the best staff teams across the city and was known as the most respected place to study around. They constantly had students from the local university coming in to train themselves for their tests, but none of them knew the dark secrets that were going on behind the scenes. You see, over the past few months, the librarians had all been reporting falling books, but they all assumed that it was just other members of staff fooling around with them. Because of this, one book falling per day became the norm, and nobody was really fazed by it. However, I am sure that a full shelf packed enough fright for them. Unlike usual, a full shelf of books came tumbling down, and nobody else was on the ground floor of the library, making the employee at the time feel frightened. She ultimately decided to post this clip to TikTok to seek answers as to what caused the event, but did not really get much advice. So feel free to offer advice in these comments in case she sees this. On March 13th of 2017, Miguel came home to find that his wife and children were not there. This was highly unexpected because none of them had made them aware that they would be absent, so he became quite worried about their sudden disappearance. Furthermore, when he went to use the bathroom, it was an absolute mess, and he instantly thought that one of his family members must have caused it before leaving. This was a very confusing 10 minutes for Miguel, and it was only about to become even more mind-boggling.
No, hombre, la verdad ya estoy cansado de esto. Me acaban de asustar otra vez, miren. Me estaba bañando y nomás empecé a escuchar que se cayó algo. Y lo primero que se cayó fueron estos audífonos que están aquí. Y ya cuando me puse atención a lo que era, que se empezaron a caer más cosas. Y de aquí nomás como que se deslizaban así y cayeron al piso aquí estas cosas que están. No, traigo muchos escalofríos, en verdad, miren. Y ayer vino el padre y no manches, se acaba de... ¡Hey!
When searching the destroyed bathroom, the cupboards took it upon themselves to slightly open and slam shut, which made Miguel gasp in fear. If his family was not home, then who on earth caused this to happen? That answer is still yet to be answered, and the depressing truth is that it likely never will. The following video took place on a freezing cold night in Spain and Tibu. A single man living by himself was having the night of his life. He had just received a message from a female of which he loved very much, telling him that she shared the same feelings and that they could go on a date the next week. It seemed that this night could not be ruined, and Tibu felt like he was on top of the world. Regardless of this upbeat feeling though, there will always be something that wants to drag you down, and in the clip that you are about to watch, this was definitely the case for him.
Son las 1:55 de la madrugada y así es como se escucha realmente el llanto de la llorona. No sé si hay personas en mi audiencia, si alguna vez han tenido esta experiencia. Así es como realmente se escucha este terrible llanto. Vamos a abrir la puerta. Esto nunca lo hagan ustedes porque no sabemos de lo que este ser es capaz. El llanto se sigue escuchando muy claro, pero no logramos ver nada. Esperamos solamente y no esté aquí adentro. Y no manches.
As Tibu was preparing to get some rest, he heard some knocking on his door, and full of confidence, he went to go and investigate. As odd as this may have been though, nothing stood on the other side of the wall, leaving him standing there in utter confusion. Whatever caused this to happen must have hated him, because this left him scared straight for the rest of the night. In the upcoming video, a father was filming a video for his girlfriend, showing her how to access the safe where he kept all of his cash. He ran a business and 90% of his transactions came through cash, so he needed a place to store it securely where he and his girl could splash it with ease. However, halfway through this meaningful recording, something happened that the man could not explain.
Este es el pasillo donde están las cruces. Las cruces. Este es mi cuarto. Atrás de la cortina hay una bodega. Está la cruz, es como un camino hacia esa caja fuerte. Ahí está una caja fuerte que creo que está. No, no es cierto. No es cierto. No sé qué onda. Ay, me caí. Estoy cayendo. Oye, niña, ¿puedes venir a abrir la caja fuerte?
Straight after he asked his daughter to open the curtain for him, it swung open by itself, which was extremely disturbing. It was very clear that nobody was on the other side of the curtain, so this must have been the act of a spirit, and he was lucky enough to have caught it on camera. Moving house can be one of the most stressful experiences in someone's lifetime. The amount of effort and coordination that it takes to move belongings, sell the house, and familiarize yourself with a new area makes it a highly difficult thing to do. Now, with all of this on your plate, the last thing you would want to jump on the bandwagon would be a spirit making the task even more difficult, right? Well, unfortunately for this couple, this was exactly what happened to them.
Hi. So, we've been rearranging furniture today, vacuuming, and I have no strings on this whatsoever. I slam it, and it opens back up. I've had this piece of furniture for 6 years, and I've never had this happen before. It's trying to get our attention. It probably doesn't like that we're, moving things around and cleaning and vacuuming, and I keep hearing something. Yeah, so this is what happened. Take a look. No way. No way.
I swear to God. Close it. Close it again. Close it.
I hope I recorded that.
Okay. Wait, are you recording?
Out there. I'll check on him. No strings. No strings. No strings on here. There's nothing underneath.
There's nothing. Just whatever. There's nothing that you can actually open the drawer.
Nothing back here. See? No strings. Nothing. You have to prove it. They won't believe you.
Oh.
Yo!
Oh my goodness.
What's up, bro? Oh, he's running.
Okay, what's happening? I'm freaking out. Bye.
We heard that that's a common thing when you're cleaning or moving furniture, that it pisses them off. So we think that's why it's happening.
They were in their soon-to-be old house-packing items into boxes and preparing to officially hand the keys onto the new owners. But the man holding the camera noticed something strange. He continuously had to close a drawer, and every time he came back to it, it was open again. It was because of this that he began to record that clip. As he clearly said, nothing like this had ever happened to them in their years of living in the house, which made this a phenomenon that not even experts could explain. The couple decided to leave the drawer at the house as a complimentary item of furniture for the new family moving in. In the following video, a teenager called Joshua decided that he had enough with the poltergeist haunting his house and mustered up the courage to do something about it. For roughly 2 weeks, he had been seeing all sorts of weird things happening around the house, but unfortunately, he was unable to tell his parents because they never believed his normal pleas, let alone a plea for help with the paranormal. This is what inspired him to take his camera into the attic and attempt to gain undeniable proof for his parents, so that they would not deem him as insane. This is how that went.
Alright, can you knock that can down again? Like you did earlier? Ooh. Oh my fucking god, okay. Okay, no more.
The spirit did as it was asked and launched the can to the floor without a moment of hesitation. Despite asking the ghost to do this action, Joshua still got scared, but after putting down the camera, he could not help but feel a sense of relief. After showing the video to his parents, though, the unexpected happened. They still refused to believe him and actually laughed at what they thought was a prank. Feeling down, Joshua went along with it. Would you have believed Joshua in this situation? Siblings eventually grow to love each other, but everybody knows in the early stages of life, they are the biggest rivals. This was no different in the household of Michael, who had 2 children, Scott and Olivia. One fateful day, both of them were sitting at the lunch table, and Scott thought that it would be a good idea to set up a camera and see what his sister would do to his food if he left her alone with it. Unsurprisingly, she had some of it, but that certainly was not the highlight of this video, as you are about to discover shortly.
Mommy. Bathroom? I go poo-poo. I don't poo-poo. Let's go to dinner.
It seemed that Olivia was talking to some sort of ghost because no one else was in the room with her. Most people would say that this was just an imaginary friend though, or that she was talking to herself. But one subtle detail happened that managed to debunk this speculation. If you look closely enough, early on in the video, the fork on Scott's plate actually moved whilst he was gone, which of course should not have happened. This was what encouraged him to think that it was a poltergeist that his sister was talking to. Most victims of paranormal activity are traumatized for life and will never put the experience past them, but the young child in the upcoming piece of footage was quite the opposite. While he was initially scared and had to take a step out of the room for a breath, he handled the situation pretty well. And if any of you think you could have done the same, then wait until you see the clip, because that is far from factual.
Besitos. Bueno, hola jugadores, hoy estamos aquí en otro video. Como saben, yo soy gamer. Estoy esperando a Brian Gamer en su casa. Mierda. Se movió la caja. Me estoy asustando. Puta madre. La pala ahora. La caja estaba más acá y la pala se cayó allá. Puta madre. Ahora espero que no se mueva la bicicleta. No, se mueve la bicicleta. No, se mueve. No, se mueve. La caja de vuelta. No. Me estoy asustando, en serio. La puerta, vamos a cerrarla porque si no se va a enojar mucho Brian Gamer. Vamos a dejarla ahí. Puta madre. Aquí termina el video, nos vemos en el próximo video. Y vamos a esperar a Brian. Adiós, y cuando llegue le voy a contar. Bueno, ahora sí, adiós. La lluvia.
The fact that he remained calm after the situation was very impressive, considering that his bike was moving on its own accord and several items fell from shelves. After the whole incident, the boy left the house and locked it with his key before going to his grandma's and calling his parents whilst they were at work. They explained that he did the right thing, and due to them being believers in that kind of thing, he was not framed as crazy or anything of the sort. That was likely one of the happiest endings on this channel. The following series of videos were recorded by a mother called Rachel, and they are some of the spookiest and most unexplainable videos ever uploaded to my channel. A few days before this first clip, Rachel and her family decided to go to a local fun fair for their son's birthday. And of course, that meant they had to purchase some stuff for him. One cool thing that caught the eyes of Rachel's son was a set of balloons of the character Elmo from the Muppets. His parents bought it for him. Fast forward to the day after the fun fair, and Rachel started to notice that this Elmo balloon was continuously drifting towards the basement, so she took it upon herself to record this phenomenon.
Babe, come here. Yeah. It's the balloon.
What's going on?
It's just like keeps going down to the basement.
Still with that balloon?
Yeah.
What's it doing now?
It's like almost supposed to go to the basement or something.
The fact that this had happened several times dented a small thought in the back of Rachel's mind that this was far worse than a coincidence. But not fully convinced, she decided to put off doing anything about it. At least it was stopping at the basement rather than going in. At least it was. The day after this video, the balloon began to start moving again, and Rachel was very quick to take out her camera and start filming the incident. Naturally, being attached to the balloon, her son stood up and started following the balloon, which surprisingly led to this. Now that the boy actually followed the balloon, it did not stop at the basement door, rather continued going down it. Fortunately, Rachel was on scene to quickly run and grab her boy, so he didn't end up going down into the basement because who knows what it was trying to lure him into. Still though, beyond this point, Rachel had no belief that the balloon was being controlled by some sort of evil entity and had complete hope that all of this was some terrifying coincidence. Little did she know that the next clip she was about to capture was going to change her viewpoint for good. The Elmo balloon did still make its way to the basement, but unlike the other times, this time around it stopped completely. This defied the physics of a balloon, because based on its momentum, it should not have come to a standstill so quickly, and this was what finally triggered Rachel to believe that she was going through a paranormal experience. As if this was not enough, though, it did the same thing again, except this time, it did it after doing something shocking beforehand.
Gabe.
Quiet. Quiet.
It's a creepy dude.
The balloon slowly walked up the stairs, as if it was a human, which was already enough to strike fear into both Rachel, her husband, and her dog. This was not all that she was about to endure, though. As the balloon neared the top of the stairs, the light turned off without any switches being flicked, and it came to a standstill again. After seeing all of this, Rachel went to her son and told him that she was not going to stand this balloon being in her home for any longer, but for some reason he still wanted to keep it. Because of this, Rachel and her husband had a long, needed chat about the next steps, coming to the conclusion that the balloon would naturally deflate anyway. Whilst this sounded like a good decision in the long term though, it meant that they would have to put up with Elmo for a little bit longer, and this next clip captures a moment where things became weirder than ever.
Hey, Andrew.
The Elmo balloon was nowhere in sight this time, and whilst Rachel was in the room with her son, Andrew, some clattering noises were happening all around them. The weirdest part of this video was not even that though. Andrew did not even flinch when his mother beckoned for an answer, which led many experts to believe that he was possessed by whatever entity was controlling the Elmo balloon. This makes a lot of sense considering the Elmo balloon was not in sight during this clip, meaning the spirit could have easily left it. Unfortunately, we are going to have to end the story here, but I guarantee that Rachel's family and the Elmo situation will be further documented in my next video, so make sure to subscribe so that you do not miss it. Aisha and her cat had been paired together for years leading up to this moment, and their bond was unbreakable. The cat was first with her when she was just 14 because her parents decided to buy the pet. When Aisha grew older, they decided to let her keep it and bring it to her first rented home because she basically did all of the catering anyways. One night, when Aisha and the cat were sitting in the dining room together, little did she know that the pet would not be the highlight of the show here, to her cat collection. Little did she know that the pet would not be the highlight of the show here.
You look so tired. I know you're tired.
Strangely, the chair came out at Aisha, and she was obviously pretty freaked out by this. She had never tampered with any form of paranormal entity or location, so it made zero sense as to why the spirit had chosen her for the haunting. This is one of many questions that will likely never have an answer. Now, despite humans being so out of touch with the paranormal world, there have been several inventions that supposedly allow us to communicate with entities. Some of these methods are very controversial and up for debate as to whether they are legit or not. However, the Ouija board is one that continuously provides things far from the norm. Unlike other methods where clips just show the board changing letters, Ouija boards often contain clips where haunted things happen. That was no different in the next video. It was filmed in the kitchen where some girls were messing about at a sleepover. It is safe to say that they were messing around in places far out of their depths though. Have a watch.
Okay, nå har jeg begynt. Har du begynt? Hva skal vi begynne med? Hva skal vi si først? Hei? Vet du, jeg tør ikke å stå, jeg må sette meg. Jeg skal liksom si god dag eller hei. Julie, skal man si hei først? Nå sa jeg lyst. Ja, jeg tror dere må liksom invitere den da, på en måte. Ja, vi må si hei da, hilse. Ok. Stav hei. Ja. Hei. Det går ikke da. Da må du gi da. Fy faen, ass. Du sa jo at det skal være kul. Hva er det? Ta ned på god dagen. Det er ikke litt, sier jeg ikke. Shit! Kødder du nå? Ok, vet du hva? Nå kan jeg få gå hjem, eller? Du kan ikke gå hjem? Nei, jeg tør ikke å gå hjem. Jeg tør ikke å gå hjem. Eller det fletsa seg. Ta det bort, da. Ta det bort, sånn frem. Jeg tør ikke å ha det her nå. Hva sier Ja, men dere, nå faen, nå er ånden her, da. Nå må dere... Ja, velkommen etter av banen. Tenk hvis han kommer og tar meg, da. Fy for jeg sitter alene. Faen, og så sitter vi i vinduet også. Hallo, hva skal vi si nå? Jeg fortsetter ikke nå. Jo, kom igjen da. Jeg fortsetter, jeg ikke var kjempegøy. Kan dere følge meg hjem, eller? Det er sant. Ja. Kan du... Hallo. Jeg skulle aldri vært med på dette, vet du. Herregud, hva sier? Hva faen skal vi ta med? Vi må vite om det er damer eller mann, da. Det kommer seriøst sånne lysglimt foran skjermen, altså. Det er dritcreepy. Hallo, ja. Du har aldri vært med på det her før? Eller jeg har vært med på den, liksom ikke sånn. Nå trodde jeg døra åpnet seg. godt. Skal vi fortsette nå, synes jeg? Hva skal vi ta med? Det noe med deg! Kom igjen da, hallo, vi må fortsette. Ok. Vi tar gi oss et tegn da. Skal vi ikke sammen? Ok. 1, 2, 3. Gi oss et tegn.
Se der!
Å, det dingler. Fy faen. Helvete, hele den driten dingler jo. Fy faen. Vi tar til da. Åh, sjekka. Gi oss et tegn.
Surprisingly, the Ouija board failed to connect to the spirits, and the girls were all rather disappointed with the turnout. Of course, they didn't expect it to work, but nonetheless, it would have been cool if it did so. What happened instead was simply terrifying. The girl on the far side of the table had her drink slide on its own accord, and everybody there understandably screamed. Perhaps the Ouija board summoned a ghost after all. On June the 6th of 2021, Chris and Julia were both in their bedroom watching television. It was just 10 p.m. and their favorite show had just released a new series, so they needed to get it started before they could get any rest. Little did they know that this watching session would include a massive interruption. The episode was about 30% complete, and the couple were loving it. They were so invested that they didn't even bring themselves to have any sort of toilet or food break. They substituted these periods with a ghost break. Julia was way too scared to investigate what caused the bang, so she sent the man of the house, Chris, to take a look. The result of his search was unfortunate because he found nothing except some cans on the floor. After reviewing the camera footage, they knew for a fact that this was an unnatural cause, so got in touch with their local priest. Like this video and comment part 2 for a chance for me to include it in a haunter video sometime in the future. It's not often that a spirit manages to physically affect a person, but in the upcoming video, this one in a billion phenomenon came to life. Meet Taylor, a 30-year-old electrician who takes no interest in either religion or the general paranormal world. He was convinced that nothing could change his mind on these views, and he was more than entitled to that opinion. However, one day something happened which managed to do the trick. It took place in January of 2025, and it is important to note that Taylor had never experienced anything like this before, so it was a new occurrence.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my god, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Unlike most times where the ghost mentally torments a person, this ghost barged past Taylor on the way past Taylor, causing him to collapse. Taylor was adamant that nobody who knew him who had passed would haunt him, so he was extraordinarily baffled by this situation. What makes things even weirder is that he has not experienced anything like it since either. The following video was captured by a man called Mike, and it was not a first-time ghostly experience for him. In fact, Mike has dealt with countless instances involving a ghost because he purchased his house fully aware that it was haunted due to the extremely cheap cost that he refused to turn down. He was in the process of banishing the spirits from it in order to increase the value, working alongside his local church as well as many freelance ghost hunters. Of course, during this process, the hauntings were still going on though, and Mike managed to film this.
No nie wiem, przed chwilą cały czas coś się znowu dzieje. Boże. O Boże. A teraz wiecie co jest kurwa najgorsze? Że wczoraj kiedy kot tak długo wpatrywał się w tą lampę, postanowiłem, że odłączę ją od prądu. Gdzie jest ten kabel cholerny? Lampa jest odłączona. Patrzcie. No. A tutaj jest właśnie ten mój kolega. Masakra.
Now at first, Mike believed this was an electrical issue, but due to his situation, he decided to show the footage to some ghost experts. They all claimed that this was a spiritual act, and the lamp never flickered again from this point, so it did make a lot of sense. In a recent video on the channel, we took a peek into the life of a mother of three who was struggling heavily with paranormal activity. In that video, all sorts of weird events were featured, such as flickering lights, heavy breathing, talking, and other events of the sort. But fortunately, it was made clear that this was a one-time occurrence. Well, at least it was at that point. In between then and now, the family have experienced a lot more, and the next piece of footage showcases a time when all of it was caught on camera again. Watch it for yourself. Instead of doing anything visible with the eye, this time the spirit was rather audible and was trying to torment the mother. It knew that she wanted undeniable proof of its existence on camera, so decided to stay out of sight. It was a smart strategy and a cruel one. The mother could hear heavy breathing no matter where she visited in the house, and at one point even heard a little girl talking. This was a surreal experience, and make sure to subscribe, because if anything else happens to this family, then you will be the first to hear about it. ghost hunting, a profession only taken up by the bravest of people or the stupidest of people. It depends how you want to look at it. This profession involves being paid by clients to visit their property and search for entities, and it comes under two tasks. They either search for spirits or eliminate spirits. The man in the video here was attempting to search for one and find proof of its existence for the owner.
Me acaban de golpear, tengo una pared que da allá al patio, allá atrás, la puerta es ahí. Yo ahí tengo la computadora y en la pared me acaban de golpear. Yo no sé si fue algo que cayó, puede haber sido un gato o no sé. Fue bastante pesado el golpe. Siempre hay un montón de gatos por acá, ¿eh? En el barrio. No sé por qué la gente deja los gatos sueltos, digamos. Son gatos de personas, o sea, son gatos de familias. Pero dejan sueltos. ¡Ey! ¿Qué es eso? ¿Lo escucharon? ¿De dónde vino? Uy, me estoy re asustando. No. Ok, si hay algo acá que se retire de mi casa. Puta madre.
As you could see, Fuego, the ghost hunter, clearly found enough evidence of a paranormal entity for his client and cashed out large. With the amount of money Fuego makes, it doesn't look like he's going to quit ghost hunting anytime soon. The following video was recorded in the household of Sheila, an aging woman who had no real opinion on the paranormal world. She was known around town as your ordinary old lady, always complaining and had no idea how to operate technology. However, she fortunately did know how to record. One random day, Sheila heard some strange noises coming from her living room, so decided that it would be best to go and investigate. Little did she know that what was happening would leave her discomforted for hours.
Look, the light is on. You can clearly see there is no fishing wire or strings. It's just hovering. Look at that.
As weird as this may have been, the phone continued to levitate above its dock, and it was clear that there were no strings or items of intervention attached. Sheila decided to film the incident so that she could show her friends at the club she visited, called the Ladies' Circle, who offered help to those who were struggling. To her dismay, though, they all laughed at her, and she was nicknamed Psycho Sheila. After being given this nickname, Sheila's self-esteem deflated, and she decided to leave the Ladies' Circle despite it doing so much for her. She informed her only child that she made that decision, and feeling sympathetic, the daughter visited her mother for a weekend. It was during this visit that the phone-moving spirit gained another witness, this time a much more believable one.
Don't touch it. You don't have to touch it. No.
Whilst Sheila's daughter was using the restroom, the phone started to levitate again, and she called her daughter back into the room to make sure that she saw what was happening. Suddenly, the phone dropped back down as if the spirit was attempting to hide itself from another witness, but it was too late. Throughout the following week, the duo visited several churches hoping that they would be able to help them overcome the haunting, and only one followed through. A priest was sent to Sheila's house and successfully banished the poltergeist which was haunting it, and Sheila was readmitted into the Ladies' Circle, where they all apologized to her for their horrible actions. The lesson of the story was that even the darkest and most spooky of stories can have a positive ending. Mukailo was a young ghost hunter who had only recently found the business in his interests. He grew up for most of his life being told that he was useless to society because he failed every single one of his exams and was unemployed. Regardless of such a horrible start to his life, the paranormal world saved him. When he was just 11 years old, he experienced his first haunting, and being honest with himself, he was terrified of it. The back of his mind, on the other hand, found the encounter interesting, and he has been wanting more of them ever since. The upcoming clip comes from his second mission as a ghost hunter, where he was hired to search an abandoned house for paranormal activity. A family of 4 were all murdered together in the household 3 years before the recording, and this is why the council believed it to be haunted. They just needed Mikhailo to certify this for them. On his mission, he found several leads that showed just how haunted the house was, and here was the first one. Strangely, the mirror started shaking aggressively, and it was very obvious that this was happening without any kind of human interaction. Nothing could be seen on screen that could have possibly caused such a shake for such a drastic period, which led Mikhailo to include this sighting in his end of mission report. But this was not the only thing he found. To be precise, he was only just getting started.
Так, нужно включить ЭГФ. Так, по ЭГФ тишина. Грохот продолжается. Дай мне знак.
Shortly after beckoning the ghost to give him a sign of its presence, a straw shelf with a teddy on it started to shuffle its way in front of the doorway. It is extremely rare for a spirit to comply so easily with people, especially a ghost hunter who is usually there to exterminate them. So there was a lot of speculation regarding this capture. People believe that the family who haunted the place wanted to be banished so that they could be set free from the 4 walls. However, others think there was a much darker reason for their obligation to obey. Perhaps they were incentivizing Mikhailo to continue his mission so that they could haunt him further. If that was the case, then they had a huge success. The shaking of this portrait continued for around 15 minutes after the recording ended, and Mikhailo finally had enough evidence of a ghost to be paid for his work. He imported all of the clips into a folder which he shared with the client and posted them to YouTube so that he could gain more employers through that platform. It is safe to say that his career will only go up from here, and if he posts anything else, then I will be sure to share it with you, so make sure to subscribe. On October the 6th of 2011, a man who lived on his own was making himself some dinner when he suddenly felt the urge to go into the living room. This urge was one that he could not and still cannot explain, but what he does know is that he could not stop himself from going there, and only time would tell why. Once he entered the room, he explained that he felt cold and unwelcome, which was not a usual feeling in his house. Little did he know that it was a spiritual presence causing this.
Holy crap. Holy crap. I can't believe I just got that on film. Oh my, holy crap. I was just moving a little bit there for me touching it, but I don't believe that just happened. I didn't think I'd get anything. Well, I'm definitely going to be filming this area more. If there's anyone out there, please shut this door again. If there's anybody at all out there, please just shut the door. Move it just a little bit, just to show us that you're truly out there. Come on, do it one more time. One more. That's all I'm asking for. Just one more time, please. Show us that you're here. Show us your presence. Just move the door. Please, show us you're here. Show us that you're present. Let your presence be known by shutting this door one more time. I know you already did it, but please do it again. I don't know if I'm gonna get it again. Can't believe I just saw that. If you're out there, please shut this door one more time. That's all I'm asking. Just move. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, I'm getting seriously freaked out right now. I'll show you guys one more time that there's, oh my, holy crap. There's nothing even attached here.
Now it took a lot of begging, but eventually the ghost made its mind up and closed the door a second time. What made this time more impactful was that the man had shown the audience that the door had no strings attached beforehand, so it was clear that this must have been done by a spirit. As well as this, both sides of the door were on camera, so unlike the first time around, there were no accusations of there being a human on the other side. Now it is safe to say that humans can cook, and that is an undeniable fact. Just look at the things that we have made over the years. From paella to curry, the dishes go on, and cultures are very proud of what they have produced. However, we are not the only things that can operate in a kitchen. For some reason, ghost sightings in the kitchen have spiked massively over the last few years, and it is a trend that has come with no explanation. The video that you are about to watch follows said trend perfectly and is disturbing to say the least. Have a watch.
What the fuck was that all about, dude? What the fuck is that all about? I've been trying to fast. Are you telling me that I need to eat? No. Let me try to be healthy. I'm not even...
Somehow the pan moved on its own accord and went completely out of position. It was not like one of those regular collapses where a pan loses balance though. It was unnatural, like something invisible was moving it. To make things even stranger, the teenager who filmed the video, Callum, felt no different than he usually did. A ghostly presence is usually accompanied by a cold feeling, or at least some unease, but not this one, which made the case ever more mysterious. The audience of the clip have been debating for some time now about what kind of spirit this was, and I am sure that the comments in this video can conclude this scenario once and for all, so feel free to share your opinions.